30-05 on that Fatih. And this guy, based off the performance in game number 2 of the Dharma, I think 30-05 is really having a huge momentum. They need to be really careful because there's a lot of AoE setup, stun setups available from the Boar's gaming lineup.
I would say shut 30-05 down. Do not let him make another miracle happen, right? Both of those last games, he didn't solo carry them, but they were kind of off the back of his plays, right? He opened up and gave his team the space to go ahead and win those games here, right? If we can go ahead and put up a lot of pressure on our team and force someone else on Boar's Gaming's team to step up instead, that could be what BTK needs to disrupt the status quo.
It's going to be a tall mountain to climb here because, look, this is a competition that is very strong from the side of Boar's Gaming, especially once it hits level 4. Red Cutie will be able to offer not just damage, but heals as well. And we'll see how this gameplay is going to go down.
So pretty standard lanes here. We see a 2v2 go out here. Dolly is going to have a little bit of advantage early game there, having that range and sustain over the Zhang Fei on side BTK here. But Zane, you know, is doing all right 1v1. He farmed up pretty well. Now they're going ahead fighting for the Firebeak. They have that smite on the side of Shark here, though. So they secure that Firebeak for sure. And we see another fight here now, this time for their Zero Golem.
Okay, that is going to be smited away. So Wise gets that first steal of the game. This is going to put them in a little bit of an advantage in terms of the jungle buffs here. But Phasma is going to try and protect the corresponding jungle buff, which is going to be available for Best Player 1 because he does have the smite, does have the seer state as well if he needs it. And this could be the turnaround they're looking for. But the level 2, level 3 fight is not going to be in favor on the side of Boar's Gaming. At the same time, Best Player 1 in the middle of Fordo. He's a little bit too far forward. The save comes in from Hoon, and they will make it out safely on the side of BTK. All they need to do now is a leave, and they will be allowed to do so.
Beautiful take on that Crimson Golem there, allowed him to get level 4 and kind of churn that fight a bit, right? If he lost that, that would have been disastrous for the side of BTK, not having the ultimate on the Ogren there. He gets that ultimate off, makes Boar's Gaming go ahead and back up, and we have a pretty decent lead being built up from inside BTK here now, right? They stole some objectives, they stole that Azure Golem, and now they have a wave pushing into the mid, which they're going to go ahead and feed into the Ogren here. This is, looks like their game plan in this game is to get this Ogren ahead and churn him into the beast that we know he could be in the mid to late game.
Yes, this is definitely necessary. And nice stun coming in from the side of Mobazine. Little bit overzealous here. They don't want to overdive on the side of BTK. But let's give you a little bit of information on Tamak as well. You know, following his performance last year, he wants to prove that EU is the strongest region in the global scene. Right, this is truly aligned with the current top teams, right, in KMW, because OG and Twist also come from the EU region. And he's looking as OG as the target because he wants Art as his rival in the farmland.
He has his sights set on one of the best then for sure, right? OG is at the top of the circuit here, but we see once again that strategy rinse and repeat here from Hoon and Ogren, right? They go ahead and soften up the way for Ogren to clear it up here, and now Ogren is pretty ahead on track to level 70. He should have the XP advantage over Weiss now on the Ogren.
Yeah, I believe so, right? Because they did trade in terms of camp steals between the Azure and the Crimson buffs as well. But right here, the big fight, because we have not had the first blood just yet, this will be a big swing. And you can see Boar's Gaming, they're trying their best to freeze the waves against the likes of BTK, but BTK are not allowing that to happen. Moba Zane, oh, hang on. Potential first blood, fried chicken. Needs to be really careful down here. Falling very and quite dangerously low, to be honest, at that first part of the map. But with the timers hitting 4 minutes soon, is this ideal for BTK?
Here we go. If they can go ahead and get Fried Chicken out of that lane and into the team fight where Guan Yu wants to be, right, they're definitely going to have the advantage. But it looks like 30-05 is doing a great job of keeping him there and getting him really low, right? And forcing this 1v1 here, which is really hard. Guan Yu does not want to 1v1 you. They want to push their lane and go roam around and help out in the map. But BTK has they have the presence here over the Tyrant. They have 2 smites, and Boar's Game is not even going to fight him for it. They're just going to give it over.
Beautiful, right? This is the correct response from the side of BTK, but of course, Boar's Gaming, they will not take it for free here, and with that, they secure the Overlord as well. Now, BTK, they need to be very careful. Fried Chicken here will be at risk, as Shark will provide that support at the top, but the T1 at the top should be taken for free. Boar's Gaming get the first turret of the game.
And Fried Chicken's been struggling kind of in the clash lane there, right? The last few times we saw him, he was kind of like on 1 HP, either trading with 3005 or getting ganked here. So he's not been given much room here, and because of that, he's down in experience. But it's okay. Guan Yu is mainly there for those pushes, right? As you mentioned, casting that net for his team there. So if he's able to just, keep it even here, it's going to be tough. He's down 2 levels with 3005. And, play for the team fights here and not play for the 1v1, which is what Fatih wants to do, he should be all right.
Yep, you can see the advantage that 3005 has built for himself, right? He has a one whole level of an advantage. The lane freezing has definitely worked out for him, in this matchup. And Fatih is a very strong solo laner in the clash lane as well. I think second only to Byron. And at this point, BTK, they're starting to lose a little bit of the grip over the gold lead unless they get a kill here.
Everyone is grouped up on Boar's Gaming here to try and go ahead and get a siege off. Best player getting dropped really low. No blood rage available yet, so he has to recall. But they're doing a great job of sieging. Ooh.
Yep, and this is exactly what they need. A stun comes in from this side of Shark as well. But unfortunately for them, positional disadvantage as here comes 3005 looking for the first blood. One more hit, they will get it. Rick's cutie actually secures it for the team. And Hoon is going to be taken down as the secondary target as well. One more for the triple kill. And that's going to be big wins on the side of Boar's Gaming. They did have to trade out 3005. And for now, is there a response from the side of BTK? They will not be allowed to do so. And with this, the T1 on that mid will be taken in quick succession as well. A triple kill for Rick Cutie. This one definitely hurts BTK.
That was such a good engage from Shark's Zhongfei there, but his team was not ready. We just saw prior to that engage, right? Best player was recalling back. So a bit of a disconnect between the team there. That was not the best time to fight, even though that was a nice unbridled outburst on the side of Boars. They just didn't have the numbers to go ahead and follow up off it.
Yeah, and they were keeping so clean, right? Toe-to-toe, in fact, on the side of BTK. It was close. There was virtually no difference in gold. But right now, one big team fight, Boar's Gaming stand ahead with 2,000. They secure the 2 different buffs as well. Wise is just feeling so full, but 3005, he might have given his life. No, it's a turnaround. A nice stun coming out from Shark as well. He does not have the unbridled outburst. 3005 getting caught out. Here comes a response. The cavalry coming in, and here we go. BTK finally hitting their strides. They get their first kill onto 3005 as well, but Wise on the backlines looking for more damage. Best player 1 falling low. They do get the knockback, and they get the kill. Mac responsible for the takedown as well. There is no response so far. Mac, he is going to be safe at the time. Mobazane gets caught out. The support from Hoon is not going to be enough to get a return kill on the side of White, but at the same time, Boars, they run away with a sliver of health. So BTK is still put on the back foot here.
These are such bloody fights. Both teams juggling aggro here, being dropped really low, but Boar's Gaming is still coming out ahead. BTK is able to get some kills every here and there, but they're just dropping everyone so low on top Boar's Gaming. Fried Chicken opting to not go aggressive there. He could have, kind of went in there with enhanced skill 1 to try and take out another one of the side of Boar's Gaming, but they're playing it safe right now. They're not too behind, but definitely a little bit behind off of all those plays there.
You start to see the strength on the side of Boar's draft, right? This healing composition is so hard to deal with, especially when you have double unending sorrows coming out from the side of Red Cutie. And this allows Boar's Gaming to really stick together as a group, which is kind of funny because that's not what you want out of 3005. You want him to be on the sidelines, you want him to flank and really just get those surprise kills on the Mobazane. For now, the turnaround condition comes from Fried Chicken and Hoon. Let's see if there's gonna be a possible shutdown, and there we go. That's what we're looking for. Mobazane making it work. They get the Tyrant as well. They have managed to catch out the Wise in that middle. For now, 3005 putting out the defense to save his jungler, but he has to give his life. A flash comes through, not gonna be enough. Best player 1 gets the punish in, and for now they get a double kill. So 3 kills for the price of nothing. BTK, they swing back into action.
Absolutely. We were talking about earlier what happens when the Ogryn gets some gold and gets into the game here. Now we're seeing that mid-game Ogryn here. He has some items out. He has that blood rage ready, and in a fight he's just such a menace here. And this is one of best player 1's most comfortable pixies on as well.
Yeah, this is why we are talking about the jungle level advantage. Not against, not for the jungle against jungle. It's about jungle versus the rest of your team. And at level 12 for best player 1, he has a 1 level advantage against Red Cutie, Mac, as well as Phasma. So those are easy kills for him once they get the lockdown.
Absolutely here. Fried Chicken goes in and gets his Clash Lane tower here now too. Guan Yu, not the best when it comes to pushing towers, but he finally goes in and gets his too. I gotta also say this game here, 30-05 did a great job playing against Guan Yu, right? We were looking at earlier when he played the Guan Yu, he was able to roam all throughout the map and apply a lot of pressure. But this game, he on the Fatih is forcing Fried Chicken to kind of stay in lane and not let him go around there and make those flanks and pivotal plays that Guan Yu kind of needs to make.
Yes, and the later the game goes, I think the impact that Fried Chicken is going to have is going to be a lot more vicious because he's going to be the setup for Hoon, and you can see the Flowbot Mage with the knock-up, the double ultis or the double second skill, that is really hurting a lot, and the flash will be committed by Hoon. And right in the middle, Fried Chicken tries to set up for the team. He is very low though, gets taken down by Rick QD. Rick QD already expended the ultimates, the double heals have been used. This could be a big turnaround for the side of BTK, but Boris Gaming disallow it to push them back, and at this 10-minute mark, BTK unable to make that play for that Shadow variant of the Tyrant. Boris Gaming, they keep a clean position for now, but Wise is actually a little bit low as well. They have to be really careful. Best player 1 looking on the back lines, 30-05, falling a little bit low, but best player 1 forced to use the Blood Rage. They get the reset as well. The knockup, it's gonna be a kill. Stock taken out. There is no safe condition for the side of BTK. They have to back off, and they will start working on that Shadow Tyrant on the side of Boris.
Both sides are just fighting. These fights are really close, but Boars is just etching ahead ever so slightly in all these fights. They're doing a good job of disengaging the fights where side BTK is just trying to force these engages. Fried Chicken going in here, Auguring going in here, but they're able to just back up slightly. They have the Yuan, the Dolia, and that sustain, allowing them to win that battle of attrition after they disengage the initial fight, and it makes sure they win the secondary fights, as we've seen there.
Yeah, the critical point here is the ultimate usage, right? So on the side of Shark, as a Zhang Fei, you need to get your passive up before you have access to the ultimate. For Phasma and Red Cutie, it really just is timing based. So every few seconds, or every 30, 40 seconds, you have a reset, you have a double ultimate, the sustain does come true.
Yeah, Shark still does not have the ultimate here now too. Zhang Fei, when it does not have that ultimate, it is not that strong. And the enemy teams knows that. They see that bar under Shark's health and they know to push their leads. Look at this, they're trying to go ahead and take out Shark here. No, he does not have that ultimate.
Yep, the wraparound save from Fried Chicken. It might not be enough at this point because everyone is falling low. 3 members down already for the side of BTK. They do get the pushback. Wise will be taken down. So it's a 3 for 4, still in favor of Boris Gaming. And the important members, Red Cutie as well as Phasma, the healing composition still alive. And there is a little bit of damage because Red Cutie does have both buffs.
Fried Chicken is the only one here left to hold. Is he going to be... He should be able to push the wave here. The members left for the side of Boris Gaming is not the best when it comes to securing towers here. But no, Fried Chicken is not able to kill the minions in time. Maybe? He barely ends up taking it out here. A lot of damage goes on to the high ground of BTK. This game is definitely a lot closer. Boris Gaming is only up 1,000 gold and is 12 minutes in here. This game is the best one yet so far.
Yes, pretty close, tight-knit, and you can see even though they have a double healing composition on the side of Boris Gaming, I like the fact that BTK is still making correct decisions in terms of team fighting to be able to burn out resources. The biggest thing here, I think Shark needs to be really careful about the positioning of his ultimate. He needs to catch as many members on the side of Boris Gaming.
Absolutely, and he also has to know that when he does not have it, he's kind of a target, right? You're seeing Boris Gaming go ahead and pick on him when he doesn't have his ultimate because they know he cannot respond and do much about it. But this fight in particular, Shark does have his ultimate available. Everyone on the side of Boris Gaming is grouped up. Something big is about to happen any time now here for this Overlord.
No, this has to be a bait, right? I mean, the perk is the Shadow Overlord for now. They do get it, but the waves are actually crashing in on the bottom side of BTK's map. So the T2 now under a lot of pressure, and this pressure will continue to grow because they have the Shadow Overlord on the side of Boris Gaming.
Absolutely here, but the goal is still relatively even on both sides, so they can win a fight for sure. Depending on how it goes ahead and starts it. But I'm noticing in these fights here, Shark is getting poked out a lot, you know? Red Cutie's definitely got some items on him now too, as well as Mac and Phasma, and they're able to apply so much poke and disengage here. But looking at the gold charts here, we see best player one's actually on top of the map.
Yep, he's falling a little low as well. T1 on the T3 on the top. Oh, nice catch. Hang on. This one is a great situation. Fried Chicken manages to get onto the back lines. They get rid of Wise as well. All they have to do is to back him up on the side of Fried Chicken. There is not going to be a response that's quick enough on the side of BTK for now. But they do manage to survive. Pressure coming in though from the side of Boris. T3 on the bottom. There is a Shadow Vanguard. There is the Shadow Overlord. The flash comes in from Overzane as well. That's one resource down. They're trying to work onto this T3 on the mid. But they're just buying space because BTK They have to deal with the Vanguard, they have to deal with the Overlord. For now, they survive. Boars Gaming, they make it out just at the cost of Wise's life.
Even though they take that 1-for-0, as you said again, BT has so many lanes they have to watch, right? The enhanced Shadow Vanguard going down the bot lane there, takes out a tower. All the high ground on the side, BTK side, is looking a little bit injured here now. Every one of them is a bit low, so next push, they should be able to get brute force down. So they need to go ahead and take this Tyrant here, which they have, and ensure that none of these minions or Vanguards go to their tower again, because next time it goes up to there, they are going to be able to take them out.
Yes, it's a very straightforward concept, right? BTK just needs to keep the Vanguards and minions at bay. Just make sure they have the backdoor protection, at least buy a little bit more time, even though they have Wise on the side of Boars. And Fried Chicken, I think he's been doing fantastic on the flanks. They need a little bit more response timing on the side of BTK.
Absolutely. Looking at score here, it's interesting. You know, it shows you how much farming matters. Fati 3005 on side Boars Gaming is 1-4, but he has 1,000 gold over Fried Chicken on the Guan Yu there, because Fried Chicken is focusing on these map plays, whereas 3005 is farming and split pushing the side lanes.
Exactly, and this is where the goal will start to matter, right? The difference in terms of the turret takes. Now, with that, nice catch onto Red Cutie. If they get rid of him now, it's going to be a huge win condition for the side of BTK. But with the heals coming up from Red Cutie, the freshness comes in. And now, BTK, they will have to turn tails. They have to run, because the map will start being in advantage for Boars Gaming once again.
Absolutely, and Boars Gaming is going ahead and wait. It looks like they're waiting for the next Overlord here, making sure all the ways push up. They know that anytime they're able to mount another siege, these towers are at the point where they're like paper and will go down immediately. But Red Cutie trying to get some catches. The poke on the side of Boars Gaming is just so high.
Yep, 30-05 now being pushed back into the heart of BTK. They get the execution. Nice response from the side of BTK, and this is Boars Gaming starting off with a deficit 4v5. So I think it's going to be a great idea for Boars to start playing the map instead.
Even though Boars Gaming is up on the map here, look at this, they're actually down gold here, right? BTA goes ahead and gets himself a little bit more breathing room with that pick here onto 30-05. That's gonna give him time to clear out these lanes and try and win the map a little bit back more here. They're down 3 towers, but they're up gold. So once they go ahead and win one fight, they are gonna catch back up and skyrocket their gold lead.
Yes, this is also why people love the Ogrim pick, right? Because with the instant execution on the Seer state, it changes the limits that you have on your team. You may not have the gold advantage. They do have it now, which makes it even more clean. Fried Chicken wants to put pressure onto Mac. Not going to be able to do too much at this point. So Mac will secure that Crimson Golem for himself. At the same time, this has been applauded. BTK are looking at the Shadow Overlord. This will restore map presence for them. The heals do come true. Oh no, Hoon is falling low. Splendor going to be used. There's a lot of damage coming in. BTK has found an opening. Mac and Wise, the 2-win conditions for this particular situation. Taken out. No smite, no damage. And Boars, they have to lick their wounds because BTK are coming back.
This is exactly what they need here, right? They win that fight. Beautiful play by Hoon there. You have the Splendor going golden for a sec there and baiting the members of Boars Gaming and actually getting out alive there, right? That was very, very pivotal. And now we're seeing that gold lead skyrocket as we're mentioning, right? We have the enhanced Shadow Vanguard to go ahead and clear out the Clash lane. Boars Gaming, they got to be really careful now. As we mentioned, they cannot lose a single game here, and this game is not looking good for them.
Yeah, BTK now on the cusp of creating North American region history here. They may not make it into the top of Group A, but they might have just secured LM's position for them. And at this point, BTK, they put pressure on the mid, on the top. Now it's their turn to put the pressure on all 3 lanes. T3 will be taken down. T2, sorry.
What a switch up here. This next fight here could potentially be the last. We got to see Boars Gaming take one fight to go ahead and defend their base here. And it looks like this might potentially be it. Look at Red Cutie walking up really aggressively, trying to get some stuff off. But no, BTK opts to play it safe. They're not going to overpush. They don't want to overextend and overstay their welcome here and throw. They know they're in the lead now, and they're going to opt to actually slow down and play it safe here now.
Yes, and I like the switch of situation, right? Because the game truly can swing at any point of time. It just requires one good decision. And look at the one good decision they made. Just taking out Mac and Wise in that fight. Now they have a 4,000 gold lead. And BTK, they're on the cusp of really turning this game around.
Dark goes ahead and face checks there, lose a lot of HP. That's the poke we're talking about here, right? He's able to tank, but he loses so much before he can get the fight started here. But no,
Yep, Hoon gets taken out immediately. They're gonna trade it out with Mac, and once again, this could be a bad situation for the side of Boar, that is. Nice catch, but the damage is just a little bit too much. The heals as well. Wise, they take out best player 1, they take out Hoon, and right now the Tyrant is available for the taking. Fried Chicken wants to change the destiny of the team here. Will not be able to do so because Mobazane is falling quite low at this point. The flash comes in from the side of Red Cutie. They get the unstoppable streak and a kill on the Mobazane. And Boris Gaming, they can definitely secure this. 16 seconds before we hit that final battle mark, the Tempest Dragon game.
While they did go ahead and win that fight, they lost their Clashing Tower to some minions in the meantime. But it looks like they don't even want Tempest Dragon. They're potentially making a push for the end here. They have 4 players up against 3 for side BTK. It looks like they are going to back up here. The timers are a little bit low. But here we go. This is potentially the final fight. Tempest Dragon is going to be in play as 3005 goes ahead and takes it down. Same with Agudo. They're dropping it down really, really quickly here.
Yep, Sharp, he needs his ultimate, he needs it now. It's not going to be enough time. 3005 falling low, they need to back off. BTK, this has to be the chance for the steal. If it needs to be done, the steal does come true. BTK, they survive, they buy another lifeline. They need so much time. And right now, best player 1 with the steal of his life has given them one more chance.
Critical kill thief is an understatement. That absolutely saved their game there. And we were mentioning best players 1's one of the smiters, and once again he does it again. He makes a miracle happen, gets the Tempest Dragon here, and can they turn this into a win here though too? Because that Tempest Dragon buff is so huge, and the base on the side of Boars Gaming is pretty thimble as well, right? They lost their Clashing Tower as well. That bottom tower is hanging on by a thread. BTK can easily turn this into a win.
Yes, it is clear, but it's not going to be easy. At this point, BTK, they need to make the Vanguards work for them. These are the Tempest Vanguards. They will disrupt the towers, which means the towers will not start hitting onto the BTK members. The heals do come in from the side of Red Cutie. The first one already used. Second heal available. At the same time, Mackey's trying to stave them off. Right now, it's a Baron-based BTK. The opening's available. They just have to stop the Vanguard from coming in within range, and the backdoor protection will be available. But the nice pushback on the backlines, they get the pushback, and even with all the damage in the world, they cannot do it. BTK, they have to try harder here, and for now, they need to back out. Best player 1, he does make it out with his life. Mobazane staying a little bit too scarily forward. The flash comes in, the stun comes in, and Mobazane will be taken out. And BTK, they had the window of opportunity, could not get the game down here. And Boards, they survived the initial aggression.
They should be able to go ahead and take out the remaining Tempest Vanguard here, but BTK, they had it in their hands, kid. They had it, but they went a little bit too over-aggressive there. We saw Fried Chicken dive in all the way into the base of Boars Gaming here and go down because of that, but now Boars Gaming mounting a comeback here with their elite minions. There's no more towers in their base, but the side of BTK, they're down for a long time, right? 2 players are down for another 10 or so seconds here now, though, and the Tempest Dragon has been erased. We have another one coming up. This could be a double Tempest game.
Okay, make no mistake, right now BTK are in an advantageous position simply because they have a T3 standing at the bottom, right? So that will be a lane advantage, and right now it is the corresponding lane against the top side, which is where the Tempest Dragon is going to spawn next. So BTK, all they have to do is to play this slow, get the resets, the waves naturally will work in their favor.
Look at Fried Chicken here. He identifies that as well as he goes ahead and helps out his minions to push this bot lane here. He's saying, hey, someone needs to come here and respond to me on Boards Gaming. I will go into your base here. And it looks like it is going to be 3005 here as BTK sets up for having the numbers advantage here, right? They have the Guan Yu go ahead and be able to rotate Tempest Dragons up in 10 seconds. It is a 5v4 here as 3005 is forced to clear those minions in the bottom lane.
Yeah, and another important factor to kind of consider is how many members have the Sage's Sanctuary. 1 on Mac, 1 on Hoon. So 1 on each corresponding side. And these are the damage dealers, right? Besides Mobazane, Hoon is also someone that is able to melt down the other members on the side of Boars Gaming. Okay, Mobazane does have it as well. So right now, this is a numbers advantage in terms of lives.
I would say though, at this point in the game, everyone has enough gold in their pocket to go ahead and master armor for it if they need. But having that Sage Sanctuary there, on hand already makes it really safe to ensure that you don't mess up the the buy sell when you need it here though. So BTK is up front, has a bit more lives here, but it could be deceptive. We could have some of them queued up for the side of Boars Gaming we don't know about.
Yeah, and also the main thing is kind of scary is vision is so important, right? If let's say anyone shows that they're off of the map, this could be very well a 4v5 situation or a very nice setup for the side of either Boars or BTK. So they need to be really careful about the vision they give to their opponents.
Boar's game looking like they're dealing a lot of damage to Tempest, even though they don't have everyone here. It's 4v4 this right here. We see Fatih and Guan Yu fighting on the bottom side of the map. Both teams are playing extremely safe. One mistake could be the difference here.
Yes, but it's life advantage. Hang on, best player one. He missed his ultimate. That's not good news. Wise will make it out, but hang on. Fried Chicken here to change the life of BTK on the backline. Catches onto 3. There are 4 different members on the side of Boar's Gaming. They will not survive. First life down for the side of Mac. He is going to be taken down by the side of Fried Chicken. And BTK, they get the kill. They get out. And here comes the first life of Hona as well. Traded out. And BTK, they need to make it work. But 30-05, he's changing the script. He wants to get the win. Can they burn the first life of Movazane? Movazane gets the flash, but right now the base is not looking good. Boar's Gaming, they cannot continue to fight. BTK, they have the advantage. Best player one, he gets that ultimate. Finally, Sage's Sanctuary as well. He has 2 lives to work with. On the backline, Shock want to provide the shields, want to provide the save, but then the base now has been secured. Red Cutie is back at the base on the side of Boards. This could turn really badly for the side of Boards if they get the knockback. Fried Chicken catches onto 3 at the same time. There is no ultimate for Shock. Not looking good. Movazane, he will be able to lay down the damage as well. He just needs to make sure they burn that first life on the 30-05. It is done. Fried Chicken sets it beautifully for the side of BTK. They have to run. Boards, you have no more damage to offer. Movazane has all the time in the world. Wants to get in, but here comes the save as well. First life burned down for Movazane. Can they do more? 30-05 forced to go back, and here comes the return of best player one. He really could change the tides on the side of BTK. They do get it. They push them back, and for now, it is Mac that is responsible for the defense on that bottom side of the map. And once again, after the dust settled, BTK still have the advantage.
On there too. Wow, that was we saw so many sanctuaries being burnt down right there. Like almost every single person had 2 lives there. That was such a crazy fight. But at the end of it, BTK, as you mentioned, is ahead. They have 4 versus 2 on top of Boar's Gaming, and they're forced to go ahead and clear these waves. BTK is uncontested here, but Red Cutie is going ahead and seeing if they can go ahead and do something about that. They have the Sage Sanctuary, but it looks like this is going to be the second Tempest for the side of BTK. Is this going to be the final nail in the coffin here for Boar's Gaming? They survived the first Tempest, though. It's going to be really, really tough to survive the second.
Yes, they should not miss. They cannot miss, because if they miss this, you know, there is a chance of a comeback for the side of Boar's Gaming as well. Bear in mind, you can only use the Sage's Sanctuary twice.
Yeah, and we used through a lot of them in that final fight here, right? So everyone else with a Sage Sanctuary is likely to be the last ones available. Look at that Tempest buff on Shark here. Look how big that shield is here. They are so strong. They have so many combat stats. Everyone is full build. It's just a matter of executing a team fight now and closing out this game.
It truly is about the extra life that they have, right? And right now, oh, 30-05 was a mistake to jump in. Now he's going to be taken out. There is no more extra life. He gets the life steal, but Fried Chicken on the back lines. Frigid charge, gets the pushback. Wise is not looking good. The heals do come through from the side of Boards, but it might not be enough. Nice knockup by Shark, and they finally will be able to deal that damage onto the crystal. One more hit, and they are going for it. BTK, they turn this whole game around.
Wow, and there it is. We were mentioning Board Game, they need to win 3-0, and now that is completely out of the cards. So BTK gone ahead and kind of gate kept them out of being in the top of Group A to kind of cement LM, you know, the United States team to go ahead and sail to the top of the series.
Yep, finally they get it, and what a way to get it.